Hello folks, this is Marji Roy from 3dcuts.com, and today I'm doing the tutorial for the lighthouse that goes along with Tea Light Village. Tea Light Village is a project that I've been working on for years, and many of you have as well. There are 2 new additions in 2020, and this lighthouse with cabin is one of them. I have already cut all of my pieces, and before you cut yours, be sure to go to the website shown on the screen and check out the tutorial there. At the online website, I include additional information about the papers that I use, links to the supplies that I use, and any hints that I've gotten as people have started putting these together. Always check out that online resource. Now I have cut all of my pieces already. I used white 65-pound Nina cardstock. I like this cardstock a lot. It cuts the little details well. I did have to have a really good cutting mat for some of these details, otherwise they tended to tear. Before you start assembly, you're going to want to put wax paper coverings on all of the windows. So this piece has windows, this piece has windows, and this piece has windows. We will put these to the side. Now, I put coverings on the windows because I like to put tea lights inside of these, and the light tends to be a bit too much. So if I put a little bit of a translucent material over these, it softens the glow a whole bunch. I use regular kitchen wax paper. You can also use tracing paper or parchment paper, anything that is translucent. I will be using art glitter glue. Art glitter glue is my wet glue of choice. It has no glitter in it. It dries quickly and it dries clearly, and I find it works really nicely with cardstock. What I will do for each of these windows is put a light line of glue right around it. I've transferred the glue into this little container that has a metal tip. There's a link to these on my website. I get them at Amazon and they are great. And then I'll just put the wax paper over it, X-Acto blade, light score to take the extra off. Using this technique, I want to cover all of the windows in this project. The lighthouse top is done, and now I will do the windows on the cabin. Okay, we're going to make the cabin portion first. For that, you will need the main piece plus the roof. On the main piece, all of the folds get folded in the same direction. I use a dotted score line because that works best for my cutting machine. And I use that to design with. And on every dotted score line, fold it toward the inside, which is the side that has the wax paper on it. Okay, now I am going to use our glitter glue to assemble this. With many of my Tea Light Villages, I have used score tape, and it would be fine if you like that. This gives me a little bit more time for placement if I make a mistake. So add the score tape, the glue to the end tab and bring the other side around. Line up the outside, tab goes to the inside. Carefully get everything even. Bottoms are especially important, and squeeze in place. You will find that on this particular project, having a pair of tweezers nearby is helpful to help with the squeezing. Now we're going to glue down the roof. You put glue onto these 2 tabs. Bring the roof over, and this is where you start squaring up the building. So make sure you get your edges lined up well here. And again, with art glitter glue, you need to hold it about 4 seconds for it to stick. So take the time to do that. Fold back the roof, and we're now going to put art glitter glue onto these 3 panels. Bring the roof down, tuck that tab in, get the roof line even, squeeze on the inside here, and then also press along these other seams as well. This is a good time to fold your door in as well. I am not going to put the roof on until I'm set to attach this to the lighthouse. They nest together, and I want to be sure I get it right. So I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to take the main piece of the lighthouse. The lighthouse has the main piece, the beacon, the fence, and the roof. 4 main pieces here. With the wax paper toward me, I'm going to fold on all of the dotted lines of the main piece and fold them in the same direction. There are little tabs all the way around the hexagon at the top. Fold those in the same direction as everything else towards the center. The 2 little tabs here will go up. That's the opposite direction. The little tab here at the bottom will go the opposite direction, and the door will fold in. With all these folded, first we are going to put glue onto the tabs on the top piece. That'll help with placement and sizing. I'll put a little glue on every tab all the way around. There are 5 of them. And each side adheres to one of these tabs as I wrap around. On the last side, I am going to put glue down the long tab. And glue those 2 sides into place at the same time. Okay, there is the base of the lighthouse. The next piece that we will put together is the fencing. On the fencing, each fence gets folded up and the little tab gets folded into the center. Do that all the way around the fence piece. Okay, those are set. I will add glue to each of the little tabs. I'll do a couple at a time. I will fold them up to make it 3-dimensional, and this is a great time for tweezers. There we go, the fence layer is done. Now we will put the beacon layer together. This one has the tabs that go up this way, the long tabs along the side that come towards the center. These are all so that the wax paper will be in the inside. But the top tab on each piece gets folded the opposite direction. That one gets folded out. So on each window, there are 2 folds up and 1 fold out. Do that for all 6. Okay, all of the folds are complete. I will now add glue to each of the long tabs and bring those up and glue them together. Some of my glue let go. I'm going to add a little more here. There is the container for the beacon light. Now that will get glued onto the fence with the hexagons lined up in the center. I'm going to turn this piece over and I'm going to put glue over the entire base area of it. Then I will line these up and glue them together. And I'm probably going to need my tweezers to get in there and squeeze them, although my fingers might work. Yes, there we go. Okay, this element will be glued right on the top here, and the two little tabs will come up through the center, fold over, and glue in place. First, I will put glue on this surface here. I will glue this over, lining up the hexagons. I will try to reach in there and apply pressure in some places. And then I will put glue on the two tabs in there, bring them up and fold them over to hold the top beacon in place. There. Now, this is the roof. All of the tabs get folded in the same direction. We add a little art glitter glue to the tab. And we glue them together. Hold while it sets. We will then add glue to each of these tabs on top of the beacon area. And the roof will get glued on top of that. Now that you're going to have to turn over and visually center. And then take your tweezers and squeeze that tab so it sticks to the roof. There, we've got the tower done. Now the tower is going to be attached to the cabin using that tab there. But first, I want a large foam dot. I am going to put a relatively thick foam dot on the back side of the house, 1/4 of an inch up, like so. I am going to put glue on the outside of this tab here. I am going to place the cabin right on it, checking that I'm in the center. I'm not. Easier this way to see center. Yeah. I'm going to squeeze that tab to hold the lighthouse to the lighthouse cabin. and use that spacer in there. I probably could have put the spacer up a little bit higher. Now it is time to glue the roof onto the cabin. Right like so. I will take my art glitter glue. I will cover the cabin roof with glue. Both sides. Glue this on and slide it in so it goes up snug to the building. And there we go. Our lighthouse with Keeper's Cabin is complete, and I'm set to add it to all of the other buildings in Tea Light Village. This download comes with a folded tree as well. Most of my Tea Light Village houses do. I am going to fold these on the 2 dotted lines. Each one has 2 lines up the center. And you fold them both like so. And you can either run a line of score tape or a line of art glitter glue up that backbone. Line up the bottoms and glue the 2 halves together. Use your tweezers. Once that's dry, you can fold them out and make it a 3-dimensional standing tree to go with the buildings in your village. Like so. There we go. All done. What building is next? Here is the complete Tea Light Village as of 2020, including the new lighthouse and lobster shack. It is shown here with the new narrow-line bases for mantel display. Go to the address shown on the screen to view many creative displays by many other crafters using these files. Thanks for watching, and happy crafting, everyone.